Welcome to Black Angus Reviews and my trusty sidekick. You're just leaving me hanging on.
The rookie critic. Yeah.
Faking a delay, you bitch.
I was waiting for you to say the awesome, the spectacular, the incredible rookie critic. And then, yes, I'm here. Thank you. You're welcome.
We need canned laughter like Ripa's First for Canon's Sake when he's just talking to himself.
Oh, yeah, the best is
Thank
cool
you.
thing.
Thank you. The best of the best show. Thank you. So Rookie sent me this. I was expecting to be a full live stream. Like, Jesus Christ.
Nope, thankfully, she does clip out her live streams a bit and cuts them down, and saw the whole video and thought it is a interesting talking point, and they all have some different opinions in there, so that'd be a good one to talk about, maybe.
Yeah. Hey, what is up, Tevin Daniels? What, you were my last live stream, right? Or maybe I saw you on the where was it? I was with Jessica James Sunday. Either way, thanks for joining. You are the first commenter, and we thank you. Keep it up, Tevin. But yeah, we are going to be reacting. If you didn't gather from the title, we're going to be reacting to this clip of the Simpcast, Chrissie Mayr. Conservative calendar gate ruined potential grifting. Simpcast. I like Chrissie. She's funny here or there. I mean, her best jokes are like, yeah, okay. Like,
yeah, I think she's pretty funny for the most part.
She's good. She's good, punchy. You know, her comedy works as like in the mix of other people. Her straight comedy that I've seen is just like, okay, like that's all right, I guess.
Yeah, well, I guess I haven't seen too many of her like actual stand-up bits, but she does a lot of good little segment bits on live streams here and there. Yeah. Say what you want about it. The Frost bit was pretty hilarious, and whoever made that mix into a song, that was great.
Yeah, no, the Frost thing is good, but I feel from all the clips I've seen of multiple streams on FNT, it's like, all right, you're really milking this. Milking it, and there's nothing like further. This bitch has gone off the web, it seems. So like but yeah, interesting premise here. We've talked about Calendar Gate, I think, last week. It's something that very much intrigues me. I think it speaks a lot to the conundrum of 2024 Republican conservatism. I'm saying these as two different things, but they're kind of intermingled. And what is deemed a like slur politically, Christofascism, Christianity, Christian fascism, whatever you want to call it. And that is, trying to have a state dictated by the Bible, more or less. I think that is a problem going forward. Trump had a good base with an unconventional conservative base because it felt like Republicans learned from their losses to Obama. They had to adapt and not be just the Bible thumping party, because like there's people that like would be in the mix if they weren't so narrow in their population that they're targeting with rhetoric and stuff. And that's like someone like me. Like, I'm an atheist, but I grew up Christian, so there's a lot of overlap morally still with the key concepts. But no, I don't want to Christian theocracy. It's kind of anti-American, honestly, to try to institute that, in my view, given all the founding documents and how we've built ourselves. But yeah, I think with like the LGBT, libs of TikTok, all this getting blended in to the current state of like dealing with the LGBT and whatnot in conservatism, I think this is Calendar Gate is like the tip of the iceberg, honestly. You got people like Aaron McIntyre that always says, conservatism is liberalism going the speed limit, or what, leftism, whatever the case. I think he's got a lot of merit there. So we're going to be reacting to this. I'm going Cam. Let me do a little solo layout first. What do you think of this? Rookie was complaining about my tiny head in my videos. Because I like to display my background. I like hot women nerd characters. I want you to enjoy
this is better because now you're proportionally to your screen, your head fits it better. So there you go.
I hate it.
And now they can see your statues better specifically. There you go.
Yeah, I want you to see Athena and her owl and Razor Candy. You know, like there's an environment here. And
Well, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just.
Well, you're probably right. But it's just something I've never thought of where it's like, oh man, I wish, because like.
Because to me, it always made me think you're too short to be on camera or something, and you're like standing up, and your head just can barely get into frame.
Hi guys, I'm Black Angus. Welcome to the channel.
Pretty much.
Hey, what is up, Chills? The Death Wish. We're having a good conversation in the comments about Johnny Depp and how I really bemoan his winning against Amber Heard. I really wish she would have won. That would have been so fucking funny. That'd been like think how demoralizing the Kick Vic loss was for grifters. Just using it for views. The Johnny Depp thing would have been funny as fuck because like you're supporting Hollywood pedo, dude. Like, everyone in Hollywood's a pedo. Oh, they're not Johnny Depp. Okay, like so weird. But yeah, we will react. Let me get out a solo layout here. And you'll see me being animated. What's the best? I haven't played with the can't you put like your picture on the bottom?
Yeah, there's like custom layout things to do. Yeah,
okay.
There you go.
There we go.
There we are.
Sweet. All right, you're gonna see me and Ricky react. And
yeah, I'm not on camera because I'm on my phone. So.
And you're a bitch.
Thanks.
Here we go. I'm trying to find the right tab. It's been a busy day today. Work, buying comics, replying to all you beautiful people in my comments. How the time flies. All right, so first we see here the cast. We got Chrissie Mayr, the host, Leela Hart. No idea who she is. Kim Coulter. Liking it so far. We got this Ronnie James Dio. Nina Infinity here. The progenitor of the Detractoverse against Ripa. It's all started with this bitch. Cecil says awful, of course, horrible Star Wars girl. And Zia Land, I see this name off and on, but I have no idea who she is. So this is more or less like I feel slightly negative for the panel, if not more or less neutral. But let's see.
At this point, anybody else who would put out a group calendar, it's going to be like, it's almost like, oh, you're doing that because of the conservative dad calendar. It's like,
heck yeah, why not?
It's a little bit ruined.
By the way, that calendar is so PG.
It's hilarious that people are mad about that. I can't take them seriously. It's literally like girls in dresses.
Why not ride the wave? This is clearly lasting for a long time. That's just called good business, if you can like swing off, if you can piggyback, sure, you could call it a grift, but like if you can make some cool merch, some funny merch off of the parody of this calendar, why not? Like, do you go give it a try?
I feel like Grifter has lost all meaning.
Yeah, like not
wait, is this a fucking midget?
Lila? Yeah, she's like, I don't know how tall she is, but yeah, she's short.
As soon as I saw her like move, it's like, oh fuck, I think she's got like Danny DeVito disease or somewhere. She's got like monkey arms for her proportions.
I don't know all the medical terms, but she is a short one.
Wait, is she a midget or a tall midget, or I don't know what you'd call Danny DeVito.
I don't know, but so the main conversation here isn't really so much about the calendar specifically. It's more about the term grifting and what actually is it. A lot of that word gets thrown around a lot these days and stuff with a lot of things. And so, yeah, I thought that's an interesting conversation. And then start getting into it in the video here.
Yeah. Let's continue. Wait, what?
Just continue.
Yeah, you totally lost me what you're going to say.
I remember, but that is an actual grift though. Like the anti-woke thing is a grift. Like you people.
Uh-oh. She said the quiet part out loud, Rookie.
It's well, like that's the kind of thing. There is a lot of I don't know if I always like the terms get used so often. I don't know if grift is the right word or you'd call it something else, but I think that's
Some
pretty
people
close.
Will say it about a channel because they don't like their opinion, and so like there is when you see repeat pattern on a channel, say Geeks and Gamers, there is the grift of like, this is getting me views or, whatever, or I'm trying to work it or gin it up, whatever the controversy is, the topic. And so like, let me like lean into it, until it stops making me money, lean into it. That's a grift, you could argue. But some people will see these channels that like they have a pattern grift of content, but they also believe what they're saying to their audience in their reporting or commentary. And so that's where it gets like confusing, I would say, the most, because it's like, oh no, like the quartering is a grifter, but I don't doubt that he more or less believes the crap he's saying about whatever topic he doesn't actually care about.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, yeah, no, Quartering's a grifter, but I don't think he's insincere about his commentary necessarily.
Right.
It's clouded.
Mad bank off like.
Oh, wait. A good example of a grift is like the beer or this count. I don't even know where the counter idea came from, but the beer, the ultra right beer, we're selling woke free beer. That's a grift. You're just trying to the Jeremy's chocolate grift. Those are clear grifts of like, let me just monetize people's outrage while the iron's hot and it's on their mind. They'll make a blind purchase out of rage, overinflated price. That's a grift. That's a clear grift.
Gotcha.
Anti-woke marketing of whatever it is. Like insert name here.
What separates an anti-woke grifter from someone who is genuinely anti-woke? Whether or not they make money?
Well,
no,
I mean,
just
you
genuine
can still
intentions.
you can still be anti-woke and be participating in a grift off of the movement.
Like, I have an answer for you. Mike Zero.
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
God, Rookie.
I wonder if you'll agree. I wonder if you'll agree with this or not.
It's like the goddamn meme. It's like, oh no, the worst person in the world said something you agree with.
Well, I know what she's about to say, but I'm curious if you'll agree with her or not, because I think that's a great analogy for what like grifting is in a way.
Yeah, ever since Last Jedi, we figured this guy out. He makes shit up.
He literally, he just everything he says. Oh, he even recently, or my mom has been getting into watching YouTube stuff here and there, and she saw a Mike Zero video about South Park. Like, Disney is super angry about South Park's Pandaverse thing or something. And I was like, yeah, but that's by Mike Zero, so just don't listen to that. And she's like, oh, but she's watching the quartering here and there too, so she didn't really know the difference. She was like, it's another reporter guy like him, right? It's
oh man,
like I had to break her in that there's some people that make fake stuff on the thing to get clout, and otherwise grifting. Like
grifter leeches the panderverse. That is so meta. Oh my! I had no idea. I haven't watched Mike Zero in like 4 or 5 years or longer.
He makes videos off the Rachel Zegler and other stuff too. He's panned from just being Star Wars. He'll grift anything.
Oh yeah, I think,
which even like just shows more how grifty he is.
I think there's old videos of him doing like Fox News kind of commentary about stuff.
Yeah,
and then he just like found his niche of fake Star Wars commentary. And also the grift too is like every video is like a great pitch, title, and thumbnail, and then he does his like welcome spiel, please subscribe, and it helps the channel, whatever that thing.
Yeah.
And then he'll like meander around the pitch of the video, and then he'll give you like 2 lines of vague maybe whatever, and then he has his outro spiel. It's the same in every video. And so you're watching like 7 minutes of content for actually like 30 seconds of speculative fan fiction made up headlines. He's like the perfect grifter because he like, you know, I don't know how much time I've lost my life, you know, after Force Awakens, where it's like this was like accredited in articles on news sites. Mike Zero, that's why I started watching them. And how much time did I waste of my life watching Mike Zero until The Last Jedi happened? I have no idea. This is hilarious. All right.
Yeah.
You guys,
Like,
it's like a
Star
nerd
Wars
thing.
view.
So Mike Zero, he just makes like 10 videos a day, and it's the same. It's complete bullshit. So he makes up rumors, makes a video on it, and he does that every single day. He doesn't.
I mean, you're
believe what he's
advertising
saying.
for him right now.
I
So,
know,
he's
but
doing
so,
something
well, you
right.
I
asked
didn't know
for
who he
example.
was
I
before you
wouldn't say that
mentioned it.
that's anti-woke. I would say that that's just somebody that's just making content, doesn't care or believe about
Right.
what they're saying. They're just making content to make content. And so I think that's the difference between somebody that like actually cares.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like it's actual intent behind it. If someone legitimately feels the things that they're saying, then I don't think that's a grift. I think if they're saying it just specifically because they can get some sort of following behind them or make money doing it, then that's a grift.
Well, I mean,
Al-
even
also
like
that
Sorry,
some
go
people, they clearly don't give a shit about the cause. They just see the money, and,
Yeah.
and they're not walking the walk. They'll talk the talk to sell whatever product. I think like even like Black Rifle Coffee or some other of those guys, like they sell it like, hey, we're right wing, and then when it comes down to it, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's the I call out these like right wing, typically
What
MAGA
about Bud
grifters
Light?
all the time who like they'll say that they're America first and they'll sell America first merchandise and then you'll get it in the mail and it's made in China. It's like, could you be
Ultra
any more
right
of a
beer
hypocrite
made
or-
by China.
Well, I mean, honestly,
Or ultra right beer made by super gays or something.
we're fighting the culture war. 10% of the proceeds goes to
That was the main
Trevor
thing.
Fund.
We talked about it on the stream last week that the ultra right beer, as soon as I saw the one for that, I was like, oh, why is she trying to dress up like Dylan Mulvaney? Like, which is like kind of sad as the takeaway because she's like dressing as the same stuff and then trying to emulate that. But it also like I don't believe that even she cares about sports either. So like I don't know. It's just that was the weirdest thing. I was like, why are they trying to copy that? And then that reminded me of what you said about Jeremy's chocolate and how they're like being within the space that the left sets the tone and they're following it. Like
Katie, I never watched Simpcast. I like hate like half these people on the screen. Cecil, Star Wars girl, Nina, the Goblin. Chrissie's hit or miss. When I've seen her on panels. Don't know about Zaya Land or whatever, and this Kim Coulter and this Hobbit at the top, Leela Hart. No idea. Wait, Katie, are you Cesrin as well? I'm assuming. What's up, Sketchbook? We're just reacting. We're grifting grifters. It's meta grifting.
We're learning. We're trying to learn what grifting means. So I thought it was great because like I haven't seen that many videos or I haven't seen that many streams, and maybe they have been, but I haven't seen that many people talk about like who's grifting, what's grifting, and all that. So this is just I was like, oh sweet, okay, that's you and I have been talking about it here and there on like what it is or who is what
it is.
So, what it is.
Yeah, thank you for joining. If you lie enough, you can train yourself to believe it. Yeah. I always see that with certain comics and their favorite parts. Thank you for joining, Sketchbook. And I'll have to check out Katie Did's channel. I'm assuming it's Cesrin. But Cesrin's all about like anime manga, and I'm like totally lost. I've only watched Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sucks that that's what you started with because you can't really go up from there.
It's going to
from
suck.
there.
Everything I'm going to watch is like, it's not Attack on Titan.
Yep, you got the special treat first. It's like if somebody never watched films, don't start them off with Lord of the Rings. That's not fair. Like, they're
wow,
not going to get the same.
Can't we just see everything else in the world that's been made on this medium? Oh man,
Yeah.
Sharknado. Ah.
Oh no, the Marvels. Oh, great.
Oh, the Marvels got it's fine. Shut up, you fucking misogynist. Let's continue.
Yeah, or bullshit artists. Like,
Well, like Bud Light, because they were trying to capitalize on all the woke shit with Dylan, and then
Yeah.
on Christmas we were watching like the football games, and it's like what Peyton Manning doing all the Bud Light, and it's like they're really trying to
Kid
like
Rock,
make
yeah,
a
like,
fucking U-turn, and it's like you
ugh.
guys don't care. You're just trying to do
They'll
what you
play
think is
whatever side
popular.
they think will
Yep.
bring them the
Yeah.
most money, and that's and but well,
Oh,
like I
oh
said
yeah,
before, I
that
think
reminds me
Brandon-
too with the Bud Light thing. Didn't after the Mulvaney thing and people were starting to boycott Bud Light, weren't there like a few actors that were like, "Fuck Bud Light," and we're like trying to, I don't know if they were trying to sell anything or just say "fuck Bud Light."
I want to say Shane Gillis, comedian, he's been on. He got canceled by SNL. He's supposed to be on SNL. He got canceled for an Asian impression of his girlfriend. Like he was
how can you be canceled by an Asian impression? They had like Jonah Hill and other people be like, "I am a Kurosawa." They had.
You need to make an anime channel, Rookie.
They do impressions all the time.
Welcome to the anime channel.
No, literally, there was a segment on one of the older ones that had Taron Killam and I forget which one. I want to say Natalie or some shit. One of them was on there, and they're literally like, "Oh, we're like an anime student thing," you know. And they're like, "Ucha kimchi oichowa." They're literally just like making fun of anime in Japanese, apparently. And they even have like the teacher being like, "Oh my god, stop doing this!" It's just like very, they're like, "All right, now meet a guest to do," like, you know, like just speaking anime. But anyway,
nice.
Yes.
Genuinely believe you can participate in somewhat of a grift, even if you believe fundamentally in what you're doing. But like holding, like I said, the reason that I brought up the MAGA people and the right wing people who get their stuff in China is like, at least stay true to your principles. If you're gonna sell like F Joe Biden gear, or you're gonna sell Let's Go Brandon, or if you're gonna sell America First gear, like, and I get something that's made in China, honestly, go fuck yourself. Like, you know, you're the biggest liar and you're the biggest fake in the entire world. Why would anybody take anything you say seriously after that? Because it's clear what your intentions are in that one act. You know,
fucking
what I mean?
everything is made in China now. It's like, good luck finding something that's made in the States.
Oh wow, great insight, Grandma. Jesus Christ, what did she add to this? Fuck this bitch.
I think she has some more points that she adds as it goes.
Okay, I just don't
it
like
kind of shifts the I think each of them give like a longer form of their opinion on the topic as it
I'm
goes.
just gonna rag on Infinity because it's fun.
Okay.
I can provide a list of print on demand people that will do American made products if that's something.
My calendar is made in America.
Oh my god, my calendar. Speaking of calendar gate.
One step shy of OnlyFans.
Good for you, Anna. That's great.
That's
Where is it
awesome.
printed?
Cecil, where is it printed? Actually, so it's Cecil's relative that got me in touch with this printer. So it's on the East Coast, though. I probably should find someone in California.
I would love to give them business.
Yeah, actually, same. If I do a calendar, that'd be cool. And I'm on the East Coast, so it's perfect.
I use a guy in Michigan for mine.
Yeah, he's great, but
So
it's just expect it 5 months after you put in the orders. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I put together a comedy show and called it like the Anti-Woke Comedy Tour, and it had me, Lila, Gino, Keanu, Tyler Fisher. Would that be considered grifting?
No,
I think so. I think a little bit, like in the sense of like the marketing of it. Like you're not anti-woke yourself, but you're marketing it to the anti-woke.
No, she's pretty
But
anti-woke.
I think it'll be like
she is very anti-woke.
I'm very anti-woke. I would consider myself very anti-woke, very free speech.
I would say, Chrissy, that it's like by definition may be considered a grift, but because it's fundamentally something that you believe, the only reason it could be called a grift is because it's something that you'd make money off of.
Exactly.
Like that,
in
the most
exactly, Lila.
Anymore.
In the
Who
most
gives a shit? Honestly,
got all these harpies in my ear, man.
To pause and comment on something. I don't know. There's the part where everybody talks.
Wait, you said hold on.
She's getting a link. She's getting a link to her channel, or if you want to link it or something. I don't know if I don't know if she can drop links in the chat and work.
Well, let me go on YouTube and make you a mod so you can drop your link. Let me go to my channel. Here we go. Where are you? Katie did. Add as mod. Man, standard moderator. I didn't know that was a stage. So that's interesting. There you go. You got a hammer. You can throw your link in there, Katie. All right. What were you saying, Ricky?
I don't remember. All right, whatever. I'm ready to go. I'm playing a game too while we're covering this. I don't know anymore.
Sketchbook says Chrissy is that one comedian on a sketch show that you always wonder why they cast her. I don't know. I can't go that far. I do not have the knowledge base for that.
I haven't seen enough of her other material to really judge that.
She's not like a standard female comedian. It's like, oh god.
I mean, I've seen a couple of I've seen a couple of snips from her shows where people have heckled at her and she responds to the hecklers. So
yeah, I saw like she did a trans joke.
They're pretty funny.
It's like it only backfired because it gave her more of a spotlight for her.
I saw one where they're like, Dylan Mulvaney is a woman, and then she's like, "What's that whale?" or something, because a fat woman in the crowd or something, and she's like, "I hope you don't get harpooned on your way out" or something, because they walked out of the thing. Like, so that was hilarious to me.
Yeah, that's good. That's good crowd work with a heckler. That's good.
Yeah, I've only seen like out of context clips like that that are very funny for her stand up.
All right, here we go.
You should make money.
You should make money. Exactly. This is what you do for a living. What's the problem with doing it in the most optimal way possible? And at the same time, you're not compromising your beliefs, because these fundamentally are what you believe. If you weren't anti-woke and you said anti-woke stuff to make money, it would be different. It's like the people who say to me, like, oh, like if I came out and said leftist stuff, especially with my, we don't have to go into the last name thing, but especially with my last name, if I went full blown leftist, I would be a millionaire. I would be all over the place like Kellyanne Conway.
Maybe you wouldn't, though. You don't know that.
It would be far more likely. I've literally had left-wing producers tell me, like, you will be a millionaire if you just say this certain thing.
Tim, are you related to Anne?
Yeah, she's my
not biological for you.
I was going to joke about that, honestly, like, oh, another Coulter. You don't know.
I've heard of the name, I guess, but I don't know who Coulter is or what any of that is.
I have no idea who this Kim Coulter is. Again, this is like.
Well, no, you said Ann Coulter. I don't know who Ann Coulter is.
Right. I don't know who Kim Coulter is. Besides, like, just my first time seeing her. So.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
She's my aunt and my godmother, and but yeah, no, people would love if I was like the like if I had an OnlyFans, and if I was like F the Coulter family, like know, female
like
power,
Prince Harry.
People would be super into it, and I just don't want to sell my soul. But like I said, it's really about the belief.
Well, you could just sell your whole.
I think some of them do that. I don't know. I know. I think that Zia has an OnlyFans. That's like the only thing that I'm sure of. I think. I'm not even sure about that. I know they've talked about that kind of stuff, though.
Katie, I gotta disagree with that anti-white comment of yours. May have to pull your wrench for that. I love the milky white ladies. But maybe it's because I'm half black. I get that commentary a lot when it's like, I'm like, whoa, giant ass. And people are like, why are you black?
Why are you?
Or they'll be like, oh, yeah, you're black.
You didn't need to do this. You could choose to not be attracted to that.
Such as I know because I've seen her on a bottle and her time on the Blaze trying to do skits of SJWs. Oh, okay. But yeah, you said she's not attractive. Push her outside. She's a ghost. So why is it all these people think of is money? Yeah, I'm definitely getting that vibe. Most creatives that make it are focused on the art, and their producers and marketers handle the other stuff.
Well, I think Chrissie, I think, goes more into that perspective on the making money aspect a little bit. I think at least as far as the comedian part goes, if it's just for commentary, then I don't know.
Wait, are you saying, oh my God, how can you men like blinding white women? Like a follow up on that because I'm confused. Because not making money is considered not winning. Yeah, no, these people. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a total tangent with this white woman thing now. I want to say I've seen something about like there's like a psychological factor in attraction to white women because of like erotic tales like blushing and whatnot. The like subtle,
like other colors are more prominent on their face because they're white and
that like when you're like blushing, when you're excited, there's like certain subtle tells that like you're not even exactly aware of, but like there's that versus like you don't see that accentuation in black women because of the pigment.
Well, yeah, so that's kind of the same thing I was saying. I feel like
not even talking about
colors,
makeup, but yeah.
Well, no, I was saying just colors in general, like when if their face turns red or, just their expressions are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. If you hang out enough, Katie, you'll realize like I love to go on deep dives about science, like just armchair science. I love learning about evolution, primatology, psychology, that kind of stuff, and Rome stuff, history. Yeah, I've been doing lots of research on Alexander the Great. Someday, if I can, I got a Greek comic I wanted to do, and with Meth Gator, I would love to take him into the Greco-Roman world. Stray Beans says, I'm here because of your renowned zero trolling. Well, hail, Stray Beans. Also, I love your name and your icon with a sad smoking Ben Affleck. That's hilarious.
Was he going to call it string beans and then change it to stray beans?
Well, I like it because, when you get to the bottom of a can of beans, there are the stray beans you have.
I was trying to overanalyze for no reason.
Right. I saw you're trying to work a bit, and I'm like, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, you're not funny, rookie. No.
Yeah, I do. When that meme popped up, it's like, yeah, I think I've been thinking of Rome for years.
Well, it's funny. Angus and I talk about Rome all the time in general, and then there's this. The meme was like, "Oh yeah, people talk about Rome all the time." We're like, I mean, yeah.
Well, okay, Stray Beans. You might think I'm thinking about it too much, but like I think about beans every day. It's like, fuck, I didn't have a can of beans. I tried.
He's literally telling me what he eats. He's like, yeah, I didn't have any beans before. Now I'm having some more beans, and it's so good for my diet. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, Jesus, here he goes on beans again.
You're like 40. Oh, geez, Rick, not the beans. Yeah, no, beans are like a big, like I'm always trying to incorporate them in my diet. And people always at like lunch will be like, what the hell? You're just eating a can of black beans by themselves? What? Oh my God. Like they freak out. It's crazy. But then it's like they'll say that while they're eating McDonald's. And it's like, I'm fat. I'm trying to not be fat. And beans are a great way. So like literally beans.
You should have a double, triple Whopper.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with that, but like beans are literally on my mind a lot. So, literally a very pertinent name for this channel, given my life of beans. Yeah, and we do think about Rome. Anyway, this is going
nice little tangent. Yes,
behind it. So, like, yes, Chrissie, would you call it? Could you call it a grift? Fundamentally, at the most autistic definition of the word, sure, yeah. But you believe what you're saying and you're doing it for the purpose of like sharing your art. So like, no, it's not like a bad grift. I think there is like you know, as is with everything else, there's room for gray in this situation. So it's like there's a good grift and a bad grift. And
I'm really like
grift and a
vibing with
bad
Kim
grift.
on this because I saw, like, for example, Jeremy from the Quartering tweet out like about that calendar thing and calling it a grift, and I was like, well, so what? Because that
Everything
means
you do is
there's
a
a
grift.
market. Like, there's a market for anti-woke people, and then, like, if that's your thing, then yeah, you should step up and be like, hey guys, like, I am anti-woke. Like Chrissy, like, yes, you're anti-woke. So you're gonna be like, look, that is my market. That is the people I want to fucking talk to.
We're just
So
trying to
I don't get
taxes and food.
attacked. So I don't get attacked on my comedy show by a bunch of trans people because they know what they're coming to see, because they're coming to see an anti-woke comedian. That's my brand. So yeah, of course you're gonna like say that, but not that it doesn't mean that you're grifting, but it also means you
It
kind of
doesn't mean that
are,
you're
because
fake.
that's
You
your
don't have to
thing.
be fake.
It's
Yes.
a group.
I think you should call it the fake ass comedy grift tour. Fuck it.
You, that would
Honestly,
be funny.
I-
See, that would be funny if you were like, if you made a tour and you were like, we're the right wing grifters. That would be the
Yeah.
funniest show because because it's like it's a
Yeah, they made a couple points here, and I don't.
Well, when she goes on, like, actually, yeah, all right, hear me out. Right wing grifter comedy tour. Like,
Right.
whoa, wow, that's what we're missing. It's like, again, this gets back to that whole fundamental thing that I fully realized that, like, the right cannot do art and the left cannot meme. And, you know, it proves itself more and more the more you dig into it. It's like, what's your comedy? And it's like, well, like, trans joke. And it's like, Chappelle doesn't sell himself as like trans joke. It's like, I'm a comedian and I'm going to work a bit off of like what I'm seeing around me. And it just so happens to be trans stuff right now. And the like weird loop-de-loo logic going on now with it, you know, especially calling me a transphobe when I'm a comedian making jokes and I have like pushed this trans woman to, you know, heights. I've been a mentor with my career for this trans woman that you bullied enough to kill herself. So it's like, what else can this guy do to prove that he's not a phobe? You know, but it's like his whole brand isn't like, I'm the, you know, I'm going to say something political. You know, like
Right, but what if he did a comedy special that was like that?
honestly, I would have really low expectations.
But
Like,
would it be a grift?
Oh, if he like tried to do right wing, like in
But-
like that's the sell.
I'm just saying if he did like one show that is just a, you know, yeah, some type of thing, yeah, some type of political based one.
I think that would work for him because he's famous for like skit work, you know, with the Chappelle show. So it's like concept. So that would be like a concept show, you know, a comedy stand-up routine. That would be like that would work like meta, given who he is and his history as a comedian, why people know him. So
Yeah, and it would work as in not being a grift.
It's like actually creative versus
Yeah.
like we're right wing, and so we're gonna sell ourselves as with our art as right wing art category. It's like you've already like closed yourself off, man. Like this is the whole parallel economy virus infecting their brains. Where it's like, oh, yeah, I'm tired of politics in my stuff. And it's like, hey, what if we like made political art, you know, politically focused art? And it's like, oh man, awful. Like,
Right.
the only good political art where like that's the intent through and through is like propaganda art for war times, where it's like, join the fight, buy war bonds, you know, fight the commies and the Nazis. And it's like that's as far as you should go. Otherwise, or if you're a political cartoonist and you're like dunking on the other side, where it's like, all right, you're, you know, it's like, it's not, I'm not being fooled, or you're not like because like you're already in this specific box with the intent. It's meant to be that. But when you're like it's lessening the potential of your art form where like, I'm going to be right wing. It's like, you know, it was crazy because like Chappelle has become this right wing icon for commentary because he's like going against the grain of society, which is what comedy's supposed to be. You know?
Yeah, but he's not even really right wing.
Yeah, he's going to vote for Biden or whoever's on the D on the ticket. You know, he hates Trump. Pretty good at being. You can piece through his coding. Like he pretty much hates white people. It seems. You know, like. There's nuance to it. Like I don't have to like or hate him because of that. You know, it's like he's a person. He's got his worldview. He's from a certain area of the world. It's ingrained in his personality, and yet he's made comedy for everybody. He's kind of fitted everybody.
Yeah,
and it feels like, well, you're just going to pull your punches with your own crowd when you market yourself this way. I don't know. Let's do the chat things. We got Barry McCockner. I'm trying to actually pronounce it.
You trying to do a Campia? Hello, Barry McCockner. Hello. Nice.
Let me catch up this chat really quick. Nina is gross. Says Barry McCockner. We got Karen in the chat. Hello, Karen. And we got Death for saying hi to you. Sketch says, what guy, Angus, Chappelle or the self-delete trans person? Because bothered men or were men? I guess I don't quite understand what you're saying. Katie's having a good time. Let's continue.
Play on the situation because
that's actually really funny.
That would be so funny.
I think it's a grift if you change your set depending on what audience you're in. Like you go with the wind. Like, hey, I'm in this town. It's more liberal. I'm going to do a liberal set. But if you're doing your set, you're staying like true to your material and to who you are and what your brand is. It's not a grift. You're delivering what you're selling. Mm-hmm. So how is that a grift? If you're selling something and you're delivering on it, then that's
I've had so many people call me a grifter because I had a very organic change from liberal to like anti-woke, more libertarian, whatever you want to call it, pro-Trump. And that process took a couple of years. But I always I noticed the people who call me a grifter the most often are people like far less successful. They have no, and I hate to say they have no brand, and by brand I mean like they have no voice. They haven't found what their message is, what they believe in. This business is all about like finding who your fans are and
your
figuring
niche.
out who
they tell
who
you
wants to come to you.
Like what are you putting out there that people are buying? Yeah, absolutely. And
I mean that's what capitalism is, right?
So much. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's literally the definition, and I think like that's why people are so. It's weird because like grifting has kind of become this like blanket statement for capitalism. It's like, okay, I found my market. I'm gonna get capital from that market. But then the other side, or even people within that side, are like, oh, you're grifting off of it. It's like, no, that's called capitalism. I'm making money off you because I have something to sell you that you want. So
yeah,
that is basically this is literally what supply and demand, basically.
Yeah, and it's getting to a point where grift is just getting obnoxious. Like I think someone on Reddit called me a grifter once, and my husband was on there, and he was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And like laid out why I wasn't, and the guy backtracked so fast it was hysterical. He was like, well, I didn't mean like in that way. And he's like, well, then what way did you mean? And he had no answer because it's fucking retarded. People just want to use it as a word because they think it makes someone look bad. They're like,
we're on the Simpcast right now, like the word simp.
Yeah, it's a joke
all the time.
I think one of the biggest problems is nobody has a sense of humor anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Everything, honestly, everything is funny or nothing is funny.
I'm not sure if the rest of this has more that we actually want to comment on necessarily. I feel like the bulk has already been said, but
I'm just stuck on him saying everything's funny or nothing's funny. It's like that's never been the case. Like, what?
I mean, so I take a different thing of it, I guess. I don't know. The phrasing everything's funny or nothing's funny. I don't know what she means by that, but South Park had a great episode that you can't see because it's banned. I told you about before, where they were trying to like censor shows more because South Park was going to show Muhammad. And then they made an episode about the Family Guy is going to show Muhammad, and then they're going to try to cancel Family Guy because terrorists threatened to retaliate to seeing the Family Guy or to seeing Muhammad on Family Guy, yeah, or whatever. And well, no, like in the episode of South Park, they were threatening to do terrorist attack because they were shown on Family Guy in South Park or whatever, like South Park's Family Guy essentially. And then it's a whole thing of like him trying to get the show pulled, get the episode pulled, and then the show will probably be pulled. Other people can request things to be pulled. It's a whole chain effect. And then the whole thing was that the Family Guy writers are manatees, and they all make the Family Guy thing, and they operate with either everything's okay or nothing is, essentially, to make fun of. Everything's okay to make fun of, or nothing's okay to make fun of. That was the gist. So I feel like that's what she's trying to go on, but when she says everything's funny or nothing is, I don't know if that's what she means. I feel like everything should be okay to make fun of, or nothing is, essentially. But everything's funny or nothing is, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, maybe it's just poor wording, but that just
that's what I'm thinking that she's trying to get at.
I mean, everything should be available to joke about, I guess.
Yeah, like, you know, hell, I mean, if you make a 9/11 joke, or you make a Jews coming out of the hole in the grounds joke, I mean,
it's not a joke, it really happened.
What's too soon? Well, yeah, but if you say Teenage Mutant Ninja Jews, you know, is that okay, or is that too soon, or something? Like,
I don't know, man. They've been doing it for like 6,000 years. I think it's about time we.
When is it okay?
That would be terrible.
Stereotyping Jews is terrible.
Yeah, so Sketchbook has good things. It says, here we go. You have no money or you're poor. That's why you're not successful. Not like the mega church people. If you're poor, God isn't blessing you. Yeah, that's good. Stray Beans. The grift is they are repeating points continuously that they know aren't the complete truth, but they do it because they know certain people want to hear it. Oh yeah, there's been, I can't think of a specific example lately, but you know it when you see it. When you're more objective, you kind of take a step back when you're like stuck in the I saw it years ago. I was telling Ricky, I'm like, dude, something's up here. He's like, nah, it's all right. And I'm like, all right, season 1, Star Trek Discovery, Doom caught in a drug. They're crying about it. And thus being a voice for the collective fandom or a section of the fandom and their complaints. So if it's worthwhile, CBS, whoever running Star Trek, will like pivot to right the wrong, and then season 2 comes out and it's like it's just as bad as season 1. They're still doing wokeness, and it's like, well, at that point you should like cut ties with that show, since it's just you hate it and it's not serving you. And then it's like, oh, Discovery season 3, like it's like, all right, I think I figured you out. You know, like you bemoan something that you keep watching, and it's not like I'm watching it because it's so bad it's fun to laugh at, or like you just resign yourself. Like with me, Star Wars, it's like if something's good, cool, but generally it's like that's going to be horrible, and I'm having such a good time with how bad it is. It's fun because me and Ricky have fun watching like bad shit.
Yeah. Plus we learn a lot from the bad stuff.
What do you mean she's the wrong person about jokes? Fill me in on that. The religion of peace. You can say about every religion. There's, you know, it's there is a reality of the fundamentalism in the Middle East that takes hold often in the 20th and 21st century. But I don't know. It's one of those, like, I'm not an apologist for Islam, but being a vet of the Afghan war, luckily I didn't join because of like rah America or anything. I just joined when I go to war. You know, I can look back and be like, oh man, this whole like us, them, they hate you for their freedom. Like we've all been sold a lie, you to propagandize us to support countless civilian, you could argue genocide by our state against them invading, so that's my reservation with those kind of comments, Death Wish. For myself, it's like I just have a more nuanced approach to it. Where it's like, yeah, no, they do got a lot of blood on their hands for their extremism. But let's see, playing the lowest common denominator. Yeah, there you go. It's fandom. They need these bad shows and movies to keep coming. Yeah, no, yeah, that's the thing I've noticed is like the worst thing that can happen for Friday Night Tights people is if like the shows actually pivoted to what they want, that they say they want. I noticed that with Rise of Skywalker, where it's like, yeah, they're going to cherry pick the EU, but like you're the ones complaining, like you got all these stories in the EU. Why don't you adapt them or, tool them into the canon? And then they do, poorly or whatever, but like it's a step in the right direction. You should like be applauding them, but then you bemoan that. So it's like, well, why even listen to you? Great comment, Death Wish. Didn't War Campaign make a joke about her dead sister? She got them banned from CG. Yeah, I was in the mix with that because I was not a contestant or con. I don't know what you'd call it. I was in the memers War Campaign.
You were a very early detractor,
and because it's fun, it's a fun time. We're EVS fans, and yeah, there was that whole drama because they were uncovering that like Dynamite, who EVS is working with, and there seemed to be some sort of like nepotism with getting her into Dynamite for that cover for Vampirella. And it seemed kind of like a grift with the sister, like after the fact, she had her grief period and stuff, dead sister, sad stuff. And then it's like, oh yeah, here's my Vampirella cover. She's holding a rose because that was my sister's favorite flower. It's just like, we need to know that. Like, it sounds like a kind of sympathy sell. Sounds a little skeevy. And then also her dog died. So there was a GoFundMe for her fucking dog funeral. Like, so these are things that were in the mix at that point that were like questionable, given it seemed like they were trying to rope her into Comicsgate with products when it's like didn't seem she's really a believer or supporter. So that's what I recall. There may be more details I'm not, but good memory sketch. All right.
And you might not have the same sense of humor, but if you like I wouldn't, let's not make it too heavy, but like, I'm a survivor of domestic abuse. So like, I might not necessarily find every domestic abuse joke funny. And some people might think that like they can't attend a comedy show like that because it might be too triggering. I laugh at that stuff all the time because I have a dark sense of humor. But there might be certain circumstances in your life, like maybe you're African American, you're Black, you have dark skin, you're biopic, whatever. So you don't want to hear jokes about that. That's totally fine. But the to say that like any one joke, like who is the arbiter of like integrity in jokes? Who is to say that like you can make jokes about this but not about this? And like everybody can be uncomfortable by any kind of joke, but jokes by their nature are meant to kind of like take digs at things. And
humor is subjective. Yeah,
it's exactly. And to say that like I would never say that like if you can laugh at like a joke about rape or a joke about abortion or a joke about abuse, physical abuse, that like, oh, you're a bad person. That's not true. People deal with things in different ways. So that's what I think that like the tone policing and the word policing in comedy is such garbage.
Yeah, no, I think that 100% a lot of people take these horrible things and use humor as a way to cope, as a coping mechanism. And
cope and seethe, rookie.
Cope's another word that's always thrown out there these days too.
Oh my God, that renowned
coping.
zero.
Coping enough? Cope enough. Cope. Oh, Jesus.
And it's like, oh, your channel's dead. Cope. And I'm like, Erica Knox and Trans Iris say subscribe to Black Angus. He's like, you're coping. And it's like, what? I'm having fun with you. Like,
well, it's funny too because
and I'm like, don't give a fuck.
Well, it's funny too because coping can also be like, a family member died. Cope. It's like, well, that's what coping is. Like you're getting over it. What do you mean? Like, I don't. It's
just the way you laid that up, Rookie, was like great delivery. I don't even think you intended it as like, ha
no.
That got me. That was funny. Oh, your family member died? Cope. That was great. Hypocrisy. This panel is your name. She has a family farm. Bury his ass in the backyard. Yeah. Fucking GoFundMe for a fucking dog funeral. Are you kidding me? With all your super chats you already get, you can't afford a fucking funeral. Dig a hole in your backyard like normal people. This Culture Girl reminds me of my brother's ex. I always said she was off. She had stepdad great fantasies. This one don't look like she got a full deck. I don't know about that. Women are weird with that. The grape situation. That's all I gotta say about that. You're making it weird, Sketch.
The time comedians have been through these horrific things themselves.
They're the
That's
most
why they're
depressed
making
people. They tend to
jokes.
be.
Exactly. And they're just out there trying to make people laugh because the world's dark. The world's shitty. Horrible stuff happens all the fucking time. If you can't find a way to laugh at it, you are not going to make it.
Like, think of Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham, like, strikes me as one
Hey,
of
you know Bo Burnham.
Hey, I know that guy.
I know that guy too.
I understood that reference.
Yes.
If y'all haven't at this point, please go back on Netflix and watch Bo Burnham's Inside. It is brilliant. The like meta of his humor, the self-depreciation and yet awareness of being self-depreciative, and the introspection. Just there's so much with Bo Burnham. So thank you for that.
Guys that I've ever seen on the internet, but he's hilarious. He spends time, and he almost has like a mathematical equation right to your funny bone. And like, it does take a specific kind of person to be into the Bo Burnham style of comedy, but like, he knows what he's doing, and like, he takes the stuff.
He's grifting.
No.
Depressed, and he turns it on its head, and he turns it into something that we can all laugh at together, that can like bring us together, that's like we can all relate under this one thing, because it's like, oh wow, it's so dark, but it's also something that I understand personally.
Well, look at Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
I think if you're a survivor,
I think that there's a difference between comedy jokes and saying something for shock value. Because I think when you're writing a joke, there's an art to it, okay? And if you have an offensive joke, let's say I have a joke about somebody in wheelchairs, I should be able to say that joke in a room full of people in wheelchairs. That's the difference between a good joke or a joke that's just, if you have a joke about Black people, you should be able to say that joke and everybody in the audience is Black. If your joke only works because there's not the people there that it would offend, then that's just not a...
I got a joke. Black people joke for you, Ricky.
Okay.
It's one word.
Very clever. See, that was an Asian joke as well in there. There you go.
Saying it for shock value, but I take comedy very seriously, and sometimes, you know, people.
Whoa,
that's
an oxymoron.
Yeah, South Park did a great joke called, or they did a great one with the funny bot, and that was like Jimmy had his comedy award show thing, and he's like, yeah, you get an award for comedy and, you know, taking it seriously or something. And it's like, you know what? And he said like Germans were the least funny people, and so they made funny bot, and it's like by the end or something, they're like, we gotta have it in a logic loop to destroy itself. You know, here's your comedy award. He's like, what is comedy award? If I take comedy seriously, then I'm not comedian. If I it's like a funny little logic loop thingy there with that.
That's South Park.
Yeah, he's like, I think I showed you that one. I don't remember. He's like, you know, if I take comedy seriously, then I am not comedian. So, it was like doing it in the Doctor Who Dalek or whatever, but it was like a funny bot, you know.
God,
anyway,
I hate Doctor Who so much.
mics, and comedians will be like, oh, I go on stage and I just wing it. And it's like, we don't just wing this. This is skilled. We're writing jokes. And I'm trying to make sure that everybody in the crowd has the best time possible, no matter what your background is, because comedy is an art form. And you're not just going up there to say something shocking to offend people. I think you can make anything funny if you're skilled enough and you take it seriously as an artist.
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough.
And be like,
God darn it.
I'm going to
People
say
like
something
me.
super offensive and, oh, you guys can't cancel me because I'm a comic. And it's like, no, that was a shitty joke. And I can call it out for being a shitty joke. It wasn't skilled. So
I'd actually be curious. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'd be really curious, Lila, and even Chrissy, to hear, like, what do you think of comics like the Tosh.0s and the Anthony Jeselniks? Like, do you think that falls under the category of shock value, or do you think that actually breaches comedy?
I have not seen any of their. I don't know if they're currently touring. I
don't think that this is older. This is
and I remember, I think Jeselnik, I think, was big in the MySpace years.
Yeah, this is. I mean, like, I've dated myself by bringing up
I haven't watched enough of his stuff.
Well, I bring them up to say, like,
intent, I guess. If you
but watch, like, who knows intent? That's what I'm saying. Like, I could
stuff to know,
right?
So many comics.
Depends. Like, if you watch enough of.
Do you remember Tosh.0, Angus?
Yeah, I remember having a good time watching Tosh.0 when I would see it.
I remember liking him, but I have watched like a few of his things recently. He's not that funny to me. He's just like pretty much doing commentary on videos, but
he was funny.
Really not that funny. It's just like, Well,
okay. We've progressed, and I feel like he was probably foundational for.
I'll say he's like middle schooler funny. Like,
again, I think he was foundational, and we've just like outgrown it. It's not that he wasn't
funny. Yeah.
It's just like, it's funny when you're younger, or if you haven't seen it before, that kind, but we've progressed way past that. It's like, watching it's weird because it's like you watch people try to do like physical comedy, and then I know you hate them, but you go back and watch Three Stooges. This is like, they're the kings of it. They're still funny as fuck for like that type of comedy. They're still like, that is the blueprint that no one's really topped. Jim Carrey, I'm sure he's like a Stooge fanatic. He's maintaining their legacy, I would say. But it all goes back to them. Like, no one. It's like AC/DC. They got a style, and
they were the like blueprint. They're the Snyder blueprint.
The blueprint.
The Snyder blueprint.
Oh my god! You see that shot of a guy's hand on the ground? The blueprint.
They would have never done that before if it wasn't for Zack Snyder.
I like how all these directors are saying like, "Oh, I was inspired." It's like, is this like some weird joke on film, like that you're all in on to like prop this guy? Is it like Wimplo, where it's like we've chained him wrong as a joke?
I feel like at some point, if I rewatch Kung Pao, I might find it funny after all this time. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing is like, I agree. Like watching it straight, it feels too long for the humor they're going for. And there's a lot of like awkward breaks in the humor. But then when you think of it, the memes of all the jokes is why it's so funny. And it's funny too, because it's like, oh, this is some of it's like, oh, like me liking it, like, some of this is cringe, but then that is like funny in itself that like they're making you endure this.
I guess so.
It's a strange one. I adore it. Even though it's like, there's parts I'm like, okay, I gotta wait to get to like this section. Here's the funny stuff. Like,
yeah.
Oh, they're just going to be edgy. They're going for the edgy joke rather than like,
I know
the craft of it, like Lila was talking about.
Did you guys watch the Ricky Gervais or Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, I watched the Ricky Gervais one.
I was gonna bring up the.
Oh, but you didn't watch the black guy. Now we understand.
No,
racist confirmed. Sketch says, I gotta go. I'm supposed to be looking up PC parts for a build, and I got sidetracked with this. Are you on, if you rewatch at this point, Sketch, are you on Twitter? Or you already follow me? I'm not aware. because I'd love to learn PC building. I like to have just a desktop, not use this. I got a gaming laptop, so it's working great for what I do. But let's see, Coney isn't serious though. That's a joke in itself. Wimplo, that was always fun. Yeah, Wimplo is amazing. He's like, I am bleeding more, making me the victor. I liked the fact that the girl crying meme. We.
Oh, I hated that one.
Oh, Wii U's so great.
I hated that. Oh, very not funny to me.
That's why it's funny though, because it just keeps going. You're like, why? And
well, no, I feel like I also entered the movie with a different mindset than what it was set up, and so I was like, I hate this movie. The only part that was hilarious was when she threw the baby down. She's like, "Oh, baby, bye bye," and like rolls it down. It's like, hey, that's funny.
I think Matt Rife needs to stop apologizing for his comedy every single time he goes on a stage, because we know you're a comedian. Just stop talking about it. But you actually commented on this recently, Chrissy, like the joke he made where he linked people to the special ed retarded helmets for people who are offended by his
did you hear about that, Angus?
I think I saw that. That was funny.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Canceled for that.
Oh, a lot of people were mad at him, I think. Yes.
This is not funny.
Because he did an apology. Because he's like, he's like, I'm sorry, and then here's a link to some helmet to a thing or something, and I don't know what the link was supposed to be for, but it was to like helmets for you being retarded, like it's for handicap. It's brilliant.
I mean, like, that could be considered shock value, but that was freaking hilarious.
I thought it was funny.
I think what I struggle with the most is
somebody said Jimmy Carr. Fuck Jimmy Carr. He's just another fucking sellout. Funny guy, but also I remember him doing a bit where he's like castigating the audience for, are you doing research on the vaccine? You fucking moron. I was like, like, fuck you, you fucking shill, cocksucker. They so many comics sold out. So like, if you go through everybody, I mean, I'm introducing Julia to Strangers with Candy. We've been watching it for last. That's probably the most un-PC show ever put on television, and it was fucking Stephen Colbert. And there's so much racial and to see what he's become, dancing with syringes and just being a government shill. You see Jimmy Kimmel
Colbert was supposed to be the like opposite of Jon Stewart.
Who?
I think. Do you know Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying Colbert was supposed to be more of the right-wing version of Stewart, but it seems like now he's more just also a Jon Stewart, but I guess more of a Trevor Noah, I guess now. Like they're more equal-ish on their comedic stuff, I assume. That's what he's getting at.
Yeah, I couldn't tell
you. Because I remember back in the day, I guess, Jon Stewart would like be more of the left-wing-ish perspective, and then Colbert would come in with his, I'm for America and blah, 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 doing that stuff. He'd be more of that kind of guy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Colbert is kind of...
I never thought he was that funny, but,
But it was before my time to, like... I was like 10 when he was...
I never found him to be funny, honestly. But I'm just saying that's what he was supposed to be opposite of that, but he seems to be, on this side now or whatever, on that stuff. Doing the opposite of what he should.
What's his name? The Australian dude.
Oh,
well, he was never funny to me. But
that's what I mean. He deserves to be.
They're very good. All those guys are very good examples of how, if the mainstream and the establishment buttresses you into success and gives you the bulk of your bag, right? Like you will bend the knee to them at some point. Matt Rife is an interesting case because you could say he is.
Sketch is looking for he was following your MethGator account.
Oh, yeah. Go to @AngusReviews. That's my original and current Twitter.
Yeah, that one got suspended or whatever. The other one.
Yeah. Stravian says he was playing a character. His right-wing stuff was ironic.
Well, yeah, no, I get that, but I think cause I haven't seen him currently, but what it sounds like Cecil is saying is that he's not doing that bit anymore, and he's doing almost the same, a parodying of like the other stuff. Instead of being a different one, he's being the same instead of being the opposite.
Yeah, Colbert, like you assume he's just always left-wing to some extent, which is like whatever. It's Hollywood, everyone is. You should assume everyone is left-wing. In major entertainment, but Colbert went to like having this fun, ironic right wing, news character for a show, and then now he's like a Daily Show host or whatever, night whatever, and he'll like talk to the people directly in earnest of like get your shot and trying to like preach to you instead of just like. Maybe being like facetious against his own side, but but seriously, go do this. Like, that would be fine. It might grate the individual, but it's like, okay, whatever. You have your beliefs and you code it in your comedy, but you're like tongue in cheek, maybe like Bill Maher, where it's like, well, he's on the left, but he is not afraid to clown the left when they're cuckoo. So Bill Maher has some integrity. But he's established, he's been around doing the comedy thing for like 30, 40 years. So he's already got his fans. He doesn't have to worry about getting canceled. And that's like a value to him being on HBO because he'll take those bounds.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, hit me up. I think Colbert probably said he wouldn't be playing a character on The Late Show. I agree he's become cringe, but I don't think he's trying to hide his politics. Yeah, but
well, yeah, I guess the point was I never thought it was about what he thought personally anyway. I thought it was more of presenting the two sides or something. But I'm assuming ever since Trump that they've just totally said fuck that and then just went to being more lame. Because the banter back in the day was like Jon Stewart's like, of course we do something like this, right? Or something with Obama. And then Colbert comes in, he's like, that's retarded. And then, America Flying Eagle thing or something. And, it's like goofy, but it was like, the contrast essentially. And it was like, okay, yeah, that's at least something that's a little different. And, and sometimes he'd go against the Hollywood stuff, but then it was like, All right, I think that's what he used to do, but anyway, whatever.
TikTok, but now he got picked up by very good management enough to completely pre-sell an entire global tour for 2024. And if he is apologizing more, I wonder if it's because he is feeling that, wow, I'm making millions and these guys have my nuts. And that's why I guess I really resent being called a grifter because people like me and Lila are in the position that we're in because we specifically put our necks out for free speech against the lockdowns, against the vaccines. And we could have kept our mouths shut. We could have said the right things. We could have got picked up by cushy management and be on tour or be opening for like a Bert Kreischer or opening on getting on like a Netflix festival or something. And that would all be taken care of. Like there's a reason why Lila and I don't have dates every single weekend. It's because we say the things that we say, and all of our gigs are literally things that we have to scratch for and get ourselves, and everything every single gig is fought for. And then if you want to package yourself in a way I'm free speech, I'm anti-woke, just because you're trying to market yourself and find your own fans, and it's you're doing your best despite being outside of that machine and outside the establishment, and then to still get called a grifter really boils my blood because it's
you gotta just change the term grifter for yourself, Chrissy.
I hope you don't. I hope I didn't call ourselves free speech because our dates would be booked out.
I'm just saying you gotta just turn take the term grifter and change it for yourself, the definition, like
the gays with the F slur.
They'll turn it to what you want. Yeah, make it what you want.
This sounds so victim hoodie. which is like I'm watching a bunch of women. So should I expect less? Oh wait, wrong tab. There we go.
Like
That's sort of what I was
that
saying.
says like hustle, like you're a hustler, you're not a grifter, like that's what you're
Yeah,
doing.
I saw that.
And you have a great market and you've done great marketing for yourself. You're not a grifter, obviously, but I mean, all of us in this space have been called grifter for one reason or the other.
Yeah.
And it's just like being called racist or transphobe or fucking homophobe or
mean it.
whatever else, because we've been
that's
called
exactly
that
it.
the
Yeah.
entire time. It's like, it's just fine. Then I am. Like, just own it and be like, fine, whatever. I am what I am. But going back to your like the previous conversation, what I think what I struggle with the most when it comes to comedy is like the idea when people joke, like they don't joke about something, like they say something, and then when it's perceived badly, they're like, oh, I was just joking.
Well,
it's
that's
like
a different thing. That's not comedians. I feel like that's the point of comedians is they're legitimately going into it with the intention of trying to make someone laugh. That's the point of being a comedian. If you're just a person and you're just making statements, then you're just an asshole. Like
that was John Stewart's shtick. He would say something serious, and then if he got blown out, if his argument got blown out of the water, he'd go, "What are you listening to me for? I'm just a comedian." It's like, no,
Well, they hide under the title of infotainment. They hide under this like. So I hope I didn't offend. I really am sorry if like you felt like I was calling you guys grifters or whatever. I that's not.
To go back to what Nina was saying, I think it's interesting how I feel like a lot of people do that on Twitter. Well, they'll make like a bold statement or say something like really offensive and then call themselves comedians. And it's like, no, you're just a fucking troll. Is what you are. So don't call yourself a comedian. But you're really just saying the most offensive shit that there's no joke in it. And then you're like, oh, that's just my online personality. And it's like, oh, being a troll is not the same thing as being a stand-up comedian. And I just think that there's so much more of an art to it when you're in person and you're on them. Like people now on social media, we get these like little clips, but when you're in a room and it's just you and the mic and if there's no camera, it's a totally different art form than what is on Twitter. And also just to say about Matt Rife, I think it's great what he's done. He's built his audience, he's used TikTok. My only gripe that I have with him is I saw this picture of some girl.
Oh, Sketch says, damn, that voice is real, like nails on a chalkboard. Yeah, it definitely sticks out. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't really have any commentary on what they're saying at the moment.
Well, yeah, I'm waiting for a moment where I'm like, oh, okay. But I'm just in between this, I'm looking over Nina Infinity's channel. So let me go to popular. So she did a video, What Happened to Andy Dick a year ago, 100,000 views. Why is Will Smith still with Jada Pinkett? RRR spoiler free review. And then the next one is Drunk Anna RRR movie review. So it's from a live stream and it's got RRR and then Anna from one of her, I guess, Barbie cosplay calendar pictures, and then Henry Cavill is toxic, and then like these are like her biggest faves. But then I'm like going through her thing, and it's just like, why does she have a following? Why I don't get. Okay, so she streamed Cake Gate about the conservative chick with her TikTok of making a cake, and she's got big boobs. So this is trad thought grifting. That's the argument. It's like the calendar gate. This was the next calendar gate, like a week later.
Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't see that. Oh, because she's a pretty girl.
I saw bits of it, but I didn't really look into what that was. It's just whatever. There's always things that come up on the feed, but I don't always pay attention to.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking through and it's like, why does she have I don't get her following, or like, what's the sell? I don't know. But yeah, Deathwish said victimhood when convenient is in for both groups. Keeps working. I hope it ends here. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Hunter Biden. So I don't know the full scope, but I saw this one. I went on lunch. It was on the news. So I looked up this article. Hunter Biden, I guess, has been like subpoenaed to appear before like Congress or something. And he's just like not showing up. And so I guess they're having a hearing about like, we need to like escalate this to the attorney general to prosecute him. his name being the president's son does not make him above the law. This kind of stuff. Someone, I think a Republican House person said like this is the epitome of white privilege.
Okay.
A Republican saying this, rookie.
Oh.
You see, like, yeah, exactly what Deathwish says. So it's just funny. Like, I'm seeing this in real life. Not even like, oh, I'm a victim. Like YouTube. That kind of grift. I hate that shit. I hate when people are like, I'm leaving Twitter, and then people are like, oh no, oh what's wrong? Like that kind of shit. That
oh yeah.
Or like the video's just like, people on Twitter are mad at me.
I'm going to say something that's going to trigger all the people or something.
Yeah, and then it's like, whoa, I'm getting a lot of it's like that whole like that meme of like shitty opinion, and it's like, whoa. The next
I'm going to block everybody, and then they're going to do a live stream.
The incels found this tweet.
I was referring to Yellowflag.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Nukes the comic skate community on Twitter. And then people are like, what the hell, man? And they're like his followers. Block.
Yeah.
Or like calls Ethan, whatever, clip it, having a screenshot of his stream. He's like, fuck this guy. And then he edits it to like church it down a bit. And then he deletes it completely. Because it's probably not working in his favor like he thought it would. Because there's a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
So, real silly. Like, it's just economically in your favor just to be cool. It's like the whole High Council, man. Like, why would you crash this before the Rise of Skywalker? It's like, just fucking play house for the kids and make your money. And you can just kind of like afterward be like, we're just kind of like Star Wars has not got anything big going on, and we just got our own things to do, like have some sort of canned PR thing that everyone agrees to say about like why you're not doing the high count. It's just, I don't know. Marjorie Taylor Greene said, whoa, of course she would. She's such a fucking phony. She probably wait. Oh, I don't want to think about that. Ew.
Went to his comedy show where he performed at places that had vaccine mandates, and he signed her vaccine card as like a thank you for coming to my show. So it's like, that's my only thing that I'm upset about is
really,
I just feel like I just feel like a lot of people moved up in the comedy world who didn't speak out or say anything. And it's like, but like, again, before I left LA, I performed at the Ford Amphitheater in front of 800 people. There were a lot of bookers and agents there. All the people that I performed with went on to open for Joe Coy and do all sorts of things. I was the only unvaccinated performer. I was the only person that said I didn't believe in masks. And I moved to Texas, and then me and Chrissie connected. So it's like, yes, I did lose stuff, but I am grateful that I spoke out against things. It's just weird how I feel like now.
Wait, so you're a poor. Like what Sketch was saying about like they always got to have this commentary of like, well, it's just poor people that say this. They're not making the money I am doing this shtick, so they're losers. But then it's like 180s that talking point with like, I've lost so much for standing up for my values. It's just like, yeah, that's cool, and you should say no more. But then it's like you're kind of playing this victim card about your losses, about being a champion and it's like, this just feels questionable, like, it's like that Ripaverse chick. I don't know if you saw, but she's like a, I don't know, PR manager or some shit. She's the chick that got canceled from like a game company.
Kayla?
Yeah. And so it's like, it's my 1 year cancelversary. It's like, wow, you're so alpha widowed to that company that like this is your sell. You can't just be like, hey, I'm a Ripaverse employee and I'm so excited for the Ripaverse and come celebrate all things Ripa with me. and I don't know what the cell is, but she's got that at least. And so everyone's going to be, ooh, simp for Ripicon employees, you know? But no, your cell is, I was canceled.
I was kicked out onto the streets, and then the Ripiverse picked me up.
It's like, I guess maybe that's a big thing for you, but it's like, is that really like worth selling? It's not like you're Roseanne getting, you know, this iconic sitcom star with a new spin-off sequel show to continue your career, and then you get canceled for.
Well, I assume it might be the type of celebration thing where it's like, you know, well, because of that, I have the current job that I do, and I don't know.
Any way you're selling this, Rookie? Playing devil's
advocate. I don't know. I actually don't know how to put it, because I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Cancelversary, I'd never heard of that before, so that's a new one.
Good things, Rookie. I sold another statue, so perfect timing.
Nice. And people know what you mean now because they can perfectly see the statues behind you as well as your head.
Shut the fuck up. I'm changing the settings back to what it was.
Oh, I figured you would. Yeah.
What do you think of this? Talking about comedy. Let's get the chat's idea. So I was talking about, like, I want another camera so I can just have different angles, you know, sometimes. So I can just like display the cool. I want like maybe like Kevin Samuels. I don't know if you ever watched him, but he had like this like 45-degree angle to himself perspective. You know, like this cool little like desk motion thing on his desk and like cool ambient light. And I think maybe he'd have like a fragrance of the day or something because he's like into like men's fashion. Not in like a gay way. He wasn't like fashion. He's like, this is men's fashion, you know. Difference in tone. Just want to be clear. I like that shot, but also you want like a streaming shot. And so I was thinking about having like interchanged if I get a second camera. And I was talking about like how it'd be funny. Rookie's workshop is with me. Like, do a video about a topic. And it's like, here's my thoughts on it. And it's like, but let's talk about the other perspective. And then I just switch cameras and like continue the same diatribe. Because it's a different perspective.
Now, what that guy said was a load of bullpucky. You know, we need to talk about the real issues. His racial insensitivity needs to be stopped. And then back to you. Do a total Gollum, a total Gollum Schmeagol type of thing.
I'm just like black. Where it's like it's not even two different entities. It's just like here's black and here's Angus.
you do one of your one of your.
That could be it. It's like, all right, hey, I'm Black Angus, whatever. Call me Angus. Here's my thoughts. And then the other one is like, yo, so like here's what I'm really thinking, you know, you feel me? Like here's what it is.
Yeah, your first character is Angus, your secondary character is called I Am Black.
And it's like, and the other one is Black Angus. You feel?
Yeah. Yeah, say it in the tone though.
Yeah.
I'm Black Angus.
The first crossover in the Ripperverse should be I saw when the characters fighting them hoe ass roads. Yeah. Have you seen that? He's like, fuck them bitch ass roads.
With roads?
Yeah, because the meme of libertarians is that like the first thing people bring up against.
Oh, because there wouldn't be roads.
Who would make the roads? And so this is like their meme of, you know, you idiot status in your roads, and it's like, yeah, that's a meme, and it is.
But I mean,
it's funny at first, but then you think about it, it's like, actually, yeah, it's a real problem because everything you're promoting leads to like mobsters.
Well, let's say, I mean, Romans made roads.
Well, Rome was an empire; they were very fascist in this.
That's what I'm saying. Like even they made roads. Like, you know, that's they knew they needed them for transport and to get to and fro. It's easier than just the train.
Griftception, Frank Pellegrino. If I'm not mistaken, that's the husband of Chrissie. Wow, caught your attention. That's hilarious. We're just having a good time. Rookie sent this to me. I don't even watch Chrissie. I don't mind her, but that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining, Frank Pellegrino. I don't know if you do comedy. I know you've had beefs with Vito. That's about all I know about you. I think maybe we had like a spat on Twitter. It wasn't really even a spat. It was just kind of being I don't know what you'd call it. Or just kind of like pulling your chain, I guess. I don't remember what it was about, but that was funny. So thanks for joining.
Grifters grifting on grifters talking about grifts. That was literally the point of
I literally said grifting live when I tweeted this, so it's not like I'm aware.
I was like, that's a fun topic point, and then this can be the sell that people could take the griftception.
I do love
exactly. Yeah.
Let's see what more they got. We got 4 minutes of this.
Now we're in 2024 and people are acting as if 2020 didn't happen and we're just supposed to be back into this comedy world. And it's like, you're in your position because you didn't say anything and you're still not saying anything. And so it is offensive when me and Chrissie are being called grifters when it's like, we're the furthest freaking people from grifting because we could have grifted on with a fake vaccine card. Okay. I could have grifted with a fake vaccine card and promoted this to all my disabled followers. You know, I lost 6,000 fans in one day because I said I don't believe in masks. And I had followers who have disabilities who wrote me that, oh my God, Lila, you're killing us. You're killing people. I was solely responsible for the deaths of millions of people because how dare I say that wearing a mask should be a choice.
For some reason, I keep on wanting to I want you to have a clip of this, or we should get the clip from Breaking Bad. Can't keep getting away with this.
Well, yeah, that's the joke from Breaking Bad. I think season 5, where it's like any of their plans against Walt, and then Jesse's just like, you can't keep getting away with this.
Because I think she's making good points, but I just feel like that'd be a great follow up to the points.
Well,
like people, like as far as like that's what people were doing, or like they could have, sold out, I guess, and like gone with we'll do the full vaccine thing, and then do that kind of stuff. But the ones that don't,
Lila has gone through the ringer and been through so much crap because of her points. She's very genuine. I appreciate that, but then at the same time, this feels like, notice me. Look at what I did for you people. Where were you? It's like, I don't know. This is the game, like I do appreciate, I don't know, especially like Gina Carano, where it's like, if you would have just played ball and got your first season done, then you could go full force and you put Disney in a bind. But like your fandom now is like a fraction of what it could be, and thus your reach, because the media is dictating the perception of you. You have no leverage against them. You've not built the fandom you could have if you played ball. And this is like the unfortunate state of things. Is it right or fair? No. This is a sacrifice. This is a sacrifice you chose to make. And this is the thing where it's like, I really hate when leftists say it, but it's like free speech has consequences, whatever. Like it brings to mind that kind of like talking point. I really hate even alluding to that because I don't want to ever agree with like the leftists that say that disingenuously. Free speech has consequences. So that's why I'm like, oh, man, like I'm on the fence with this commentary right here. Cause like, I really do appreciate people that like go against the grain and stand up and put their pay, their survival with their career on the line to have their integrity. But then it's like, you see Tiny Gamer, it's like, yeah, integrity doesn't pay. I don't know. Think about Metallica, where it's like, oh, you sold out. I was like, yeah, I sold out. I'm selling out concerts, man. Like, I don't know. It's a hard one to really find where I am on the line with this one.
Well, I feel like with a lot of things, that's why I don't comment on too much things on Twitter too often, because I keep on learning different stuff or certain things will happen. Like you've seen it throughout the time I've known you, where I don't feel a certain way about something, and then at some point something happens, and then I totally see what you meant that I didn't see before. Quite often, there's been quite a few type of things like that. But
yeah, it says she and a lot of other people though, Frank. So am I supposed to not say anything when you're chilling or being pushed by known grifters? Lots of people lost their jobs. We all had to stand by our convictions, which do have reactions. Frank says, you can say anything you want. I happen to catch stream because he tagged Chrissie. Wait, I tagged her? I mean, she's in the title because it's her stream. So, wait.
But regardless, no, it's good to have your perspective on there too. So that's cool. That's cool.
I think I follow her on Twitter though. Like, Chrissie's fine. Yeah,
I just noticed for some reason. I just noticed Cecil, his face. It's like, yeah. Like I actually got like the big old sunglasses for.
Karen says, I like Chrissie. If I were into females, I might even hit on her. Well, yeah, the red hair definitely helps her out. That is a soft spot for me.
Grandma.
Nice.
Don't you feel a little vindicated now?
It's not just the people. It's not just the people who were pro-vaccine, like the late night hosts, and right, like if Jimmy Carr was too. It's like what really like fucking pisses me off is the majority, which was the silent people in the middle, that they were not penalized for not taking a stand. They got to be quiet and get by with their vaccine cards, and guess what? They made out just fine, and they didn't get penalized for sticking their neck out. And it's almost like they have just as much success as the outwardly vocal pro-vaccine crowd.
Yeah, and I also don't think this whole idea of like grifting to have an audience by saying what you believe in and being anti-vax and free pro-free speech and all of that is that's not going to get you the mainstream success that would actually make you more successful. You're taking the harder road. It's not like you're doing it and being like, cool.
So you'd say that your point is on.
Yeah, go on.
So your point, like with the Gina Carano thing, is more like, take the high road later. Like, take your stance at some point, but get more in the public eye, get more of notoriety, and then do the heel turn or whatever, because that way you'll have your beliefs and you'll know what they are and what you're trying to push. But if you leave too soon, then you won't be able to have as much reach overall to get to as many people, and not enough of them to take you seriously with it. Kind of like what happened with Gina.
Here's an example. Here's like an extreme. There's no like dead set proof necessarily, but it seems deductive reasoning that well, I'll take it back a bit. All right. World War II, Holocaust, all that. Everyone thinks, yeah, we needed to fight that war. That was a good thing. And we did great for the world by toppling the regimes we did. And there's the economic success we had for like 15 years afterward until Kennedy comes in, inheriting a recession. And then, of course, the Cold War taking off with Cuba and everything. Everyone looks at World War II in America and our efforts in there, us funneling funds and equipment and whatever to Russia to weaken the Germans, etc. All good stuff. But it's like this all goes back to America was a non-interventionist state back then. We already dipped our toe at the end of World War I. No one in America wanted to be in World War II. There were people could go volunteer and be like British pilots, whatever, But FDR really wanted the war. And it seems there's a lot of like weird things. Like I guess someone's informed about like, yeah, this like weird thing going on with like the Japanese that we're aware of somewhere out in the ocean. It might be coming towards us. Like, well, we'll check it out Monday. They're bombed on Sunday.
Right.
And thus everyone, I think one government official in DC voted against the war, or maybe like a neutral vote on the declaration of war. And that was like a principled take, but like everyone was for it. Hillary Clinton was for the war on terror when it kicked off. It's one of those things where it's like maybe FDR is directly responsible for all the death at Pearl Harbor, and it's one of those like, was that a net positive, or can that ever be justified? And I feel like in a smaller cosm, it's like my argument with Gina Carano. It's like, you should have took a little more blood on your hands, metaphorically, for a greater net positive. That's my view of her situation. Yeah, endure the stupid haranguing by all these trannies at Disney on a Skype call, and just say, yes, I'm sorry. Because everyone talks about, well, Pedro Pascal tweeted this, and it's like, yeah, he's the star of the show. He's from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, what if she did have her own show that she was going to have, and then like halfway through that, then she says her stuff? I think it's kind of what you're getting at, right? Like that would have been, oof. They can't just so easily toss her out now at that point.
The last job I had, it was on the fence about if they were going to mandate vaccines. Luckily, Florida, it's such all these different states and agencies and whatnot, different levels and companies were like ready to file suit against the state. And so it never even like actually got pushed. It became like a company to company, if you want to mandate it kind of thing. But there was no like state mandate federally to like have to be vaccinated. There's like stuff for like the military and the like nursing, pretty sure if you're in medical, you're going to have to, unless you have a viable counter to exempt yourself. But yeah, it's like luckily I never had to take it, but like my paycheck's on the line, I'm taking the shot. I'm not taking less pay. I need the money. This is a practical state, and it's like someone like Gina Carano. She's got what, a stepdad's a billionaire casino guy. She can afford, like, everyone props her up as like a victim, and like to a degree they're right, but it's like she was set for life already, so it's not as principled to take as a stand she took as people think, from just like seeing a couple headlines of like canceled for a tweet. Was it right? No, but I think the game you're in. Everyone's on the left in Hollywood. You gotta play ball if you want to be in there. And if you're trying to be like someone awakening people, question the state that we're in at that point. You see with politicians, it's like, oh, this guy, he voted on this bill. It's like, but did the bill pass? Probably playing ball for.
There'd probably be more opportunities to anti-hijack movies and comics and stuff if there were people that maybe stayed in that didn't feel that way, that could influence at some point. I assume is also what you kind of mean with it. There'd be more influence from other people in the media at this point.
Not ready, sir. Just saying the obvious. Seems like people want us to swoon over people like the Gina Carano thing. Chrissie's good people, says Karen. Well, I like Karen, so that has created.
Yeah, I think she's all right.
This is not an anti-Chrissy stream. It's just she's the host of this topic discussion, and I think Calendar Gate's a very interesting microcosm, petri dish to analyze about the state of conservatism, because there's a big contingent of Christian right that dictate a lot of commentary, and they look kind of silly with this Calendar Gate thing. Given M&M's, oh man, they made Mary Jane a fat, ugly black potato in the Turtles movie, etc. They're desexifying women, they're removing femininity, but then it's like, here's like feminine women, being appealing to the eye in a calendar. It's like, this is softcore porn. It's like, what the? Oh my god! Like, how are you ever going to be Biden if you can't just like, I don't know, not make this an issue of all things? You look silly. Like when the left, where it's like they got someone that is on the left, they're making a good entertainment for their view or whatever, and then they like find out this person used to be friends with this bad guy or whatever, and so then they like get canceled by association, or they thought something that isn't cool now, even though it was like a totally normal mainstream Democrat view 10 years ago. The whole premise of the conversation is wrong. There's not two legitimate sides. There's one side that acknowledged reality and another that wanted to pretend pandemic wasn't a thing. Gotta disagree, stray beans. the pandemic was not even a pandemic. It was overblown. It very clearly only targeted, generally speaking, old people and immunocompromised people. But they used it for hysteria. They used it to, in my view, interfere with the election. This whole mail-in voting stuff. There's just Angus, absolutely agree. The conservative movement is very divided right now. Inclusive, big tent, anti-authoritarian centrist versus Puritan Christian hyper-conservative right. Bam, man. It doesn't work out with you and Chrissie, Frank.
Based Frank.
You're winning me. You're winning me over. I'm not even against you. I don't know enough about you, but
yeah, I honestly, I've just heard him reference this filing cabinet most of the time, and he's like around. he like helps us up for streams here and there. That's about all I got.
Yeah. No, I'm a pretty center guy. I'm still sub to Air July, even though it's more, I guess, facetiously so now. But I'm a veto fan. Atheist, but there's a lot of agreement with Christianity about stuff. I don't have. I'm politically homeless, and this informs a lot of like commentary about art and stuff. Where I see like grifting material, I would say. Purposely facetious half truths. So like I'm not opposed to friendly fire when I think you're just like out of line. Yeah.
But if there was more of that earlier on, like there might have been, more people seeing different stuff earlier, potentially.
Yeah, Death Wish got it right. If you're in Hollywood, it's best to be quiet for the sake of your career. That's unfortunate reality. It's like if you want to be in this game, like you gotta play to the.
Well, because otherwise they'll just kick you out of the game, and then you don't really have as much of a voice anyway. So.
Yeah, it's like look at Doja Cat. Doja Cat got all this crap because she wore a Sam Hyde shirt, and they're like, "He's a Nazi. You're promoting." And it's just like, "What? It's a funny shirt. The guy's funny. Whatever. Leave me alone." But she has, and then now it's like a forgotten issue. There'll be weirdos, of course, that will like forever cry about like never Doja Cat because she wore this shirt or whatever. She's dog whistling. You just ignore those people. But she has that authority to work past these like fake cancel attempts because she's paid her dues in whatever way to have that clout in entertainment. Where she's above it. She's above the canceling. She has to do something actually egregious to like, okay, we can't ignore us. We got to cancel her. Like, that's like where I'm at. It's like, oh God. And in a microcosm, I feel like this whole commentary with Leela and Chrissie, where it's like, no, it is admirable in a way. But then at the same time, it's like you cut your knees out from under you and you're complaining about it. And it's like, I don't know, just wear it with pride instead of, it seems very...
I don't know if they're complaining about it or if they're making a point about the difference between grifting and doing that.
It feels very like I'm trying to think of the word right now. Like hindsight 2020, you're kind of kicking yourself. Like, damn it! Like I could be somewhere if I played ball.
Well, no, I feel like because the topic is about grifting, and they said that they chose not to go that route is kind of the point. But maybe that there's that undertone, maybe of like, I'm glad I did this, but if only
resenting your decisions. That's what I was getting at.
Maybe
feels like maybe some resentment, not just that like you were put in this position, and so you took like the hard right, but you're kind of paying for it. You can discuss how the pandemic, but she's diminishing the necessity of vaccines. Well, they weren't necessary because they were experimental. And there's a lot of weird things about treatments that were viable that they set this all up to like force this trial experiment. And we're seeing a lot of problems with it and ineffectiveness.
Also, it's like I always point out there's a difference between the vaccines and cures. Like cures for polio and stuff. It's like
not even
proven to work.
the thing with those vaccines is they had years of study and trial, versus this vaccine in question. Like there's this whole propaganda of anti-vax. It's like pretty sure everyone you're calling anti-vax has all their like all their viable shots that have years of study behind, that have so much effectiveness proven before they even
that's what I mean.
mass market.
But that's the same thing I'm saying, though. That's what I mean. Like they shat out a vaccine for COVID and said, "Oh, yep, it'll work totally."
Well, not only that, the stocks like what doubled or tripled for these companies that made them, and then afterwards, it's like, oh yeah, we just like rushed crap out. And also, it was an emergency order that we worked under, so you can never sue us for malpractice as a medical-based company. So, like, that's my whole problem with this, where it's like, when this started, I was not like, yeah, this is just government conspiracy, whatever, And then as time went on, we started seeing all these stats. Like, oh, we see the like key demographics being targeted with this disease. And so it's like, actually, it's nothing to worry about for most people. And you get like odd cases, like there's like some Olympian swimmer that like he's like wrecked from it, but it's probably some sort of genetic thing for him.
Right. I don't remember if YouTube still takes videos down for talking about COVID or not, by the way, but
well,
still up,
it's
good.
So loopy because there was things people would report on current CDC guidelines and whatever put out, and they'd still get shit taken down, even though, because like YouTube's like, well, if you say anything out of line with what CDC says, you're gone, or like that thing's gone. But then people would say things off of like the current narrative, and they'd still get. So it's like, who cares? Yeah, but there's just a lot of weird stuff, and you see, like, first of all, these companies have like a blank check in the sense of, unlike normal medical interventions that you find out later, like, oh, actually this like this smoking cessation medication that was pushed heavily, widely used, turns out it actually causes cancer. And so everyone gets to be on like a major lawsuit, a class action lawsuit, and get a payout for their malpractice. Versus these vaccines, because they got like the emergency umbrella in making it, they can like never be sued for malpractice. And then also you see the business of this, where they what is it? They keep pushing boosters because, oh, actually, yeah, it doesn't work like we thought. And so you're gonna have to get like an 8th booster, That's the other factor of like, I just completely disregard this pandemic. Pandemic is the Black Plague. Half the people are gone. 25% of the people are gone. Like, was it yellow fever or Spanish flu? One of those major death toll. That's a pandemic. The international numbers for COVID. And also hospitals were financially incentivized to count deaths as that virus related. So there's a monetary incentive to boost the death toll count, where it's like, we don't know what the real numbers are. So I have a general educated opinion about why I just totally disregarded the pandemic. Yeah, it's sad. Grandma died. There's like cases that stand outside of the general populace that was targeted. It's unfortunate. I'm not saying it wasn't like a real illness, or that it's not like something we're going to have to account for, like the flu, but more or less it's the flu. And yeah, also they weren't counting flu deaths. It's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got like 30 flu deaths, but like millions of COVID. It doesn't add up. Like the flu just went away for a year or two, conveniently. So that's my rounded perspective on that. Since we were engaging stray beans.
Flowing in, you're like, now you have to work way harder. You have to build your own audience from the ground fucking up, because there's not as many eyes on you. You don't have a team behind you to get you out there. You're not getting deals on platforms where there are millions.
Well, okay, see, this whole spiel that you're saying, which is like, I agree with, but this is interesting because all these collective web of people will like discredit someone's like, well, they don't have the views I do, so they're not getting the money I do. They don't get the super chats I do, so you're a loser. You know, I'm winning. But then right here, it's like, well, we're not winning because we did this. And it's like, so you're a loser. Like by your own common rhetoric about.
I think it's meant to be framed as more of an underdog, I think is what the goal is for how that's being said.
Sure. I'm just saying their commentary, I'm not saying any specific person, but like the collective, there's this, I've seen it repeatedly over the years of like, well, I have so many subs. What do you got? You know, I'm winning. But then I don't know, it just seems like talking out of both sides of your mouth kind of in conjunction. I'm not saying her points aren't right, but it's just like, huh. Are you aware of like what you might have said a day ago?
Or you just mean people in general that have channels that will sometimes use your following as like how valid your status is or something, or what you're saying.
Yeah, they'll totally talk numbers as like a winning point when it suits them, but then like they're on the bottom because they didn't play ball with the system, and somehow this is like a good thing. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I think it's like pick your poison. If you want to like win money wise, then like, yeah, play ball. If you want to have like a principled audience following because you didn't play ball and you took like a principled stance, like cool, but just accept like you've undercut your potential. Yeah, I don't know. Or your weight is the measure of your knowledge and integrity. Yeah, weird stuff like that.
Of built-in followers, you have to do it all yourself. It is way fucking harder. So people think that they're doing that just to make money are retarded, because you could have gone the other. That would have been way easier to go the other way.
Yeah.
They often say too that like the people that are talking bad about you are people who are always doing worse than you. And I'm not just saying that.
Oh my God, they literally turn it this way. Like I was just saying. See what I mean, Rookie?
Or the people that are talking bad about you are usually worse than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, they instantly spun it to what I was just saying.
Right.
It's like, actually, you're totally winning, because the people that say that are not winning.
Right.
Fully actually likes you, but I'm saying like people who feel compelled to say that you're doing things just for the money are not so successful themselves, and they see
why
you
wouldn't you be
being
doing
able.
Okay, yeah. It's like, well, so can somebody who is successful, are they not allowed to say something like that, or is that never a thing? Successful people don't comment on things. Is that?
Yeah, it's funny. Like people try to dog EVS or something, or like, oh my God, I was so happy for this, and I saw his name in the credits, and he's like, hey, look at my check, loser. Like, because he's trolling them because they hate it because he has not played ball and he's still winning because he's had an impact on DC Comics and he gets paid for it.
Gotcha.
Like that's funny. That's funny because like you're bemoaning him because he doesn't like play ball with your narrative, and it's like, yeah, whatever. They had to pay me. Haha. Versus like just a general, this is how you live perspective of like, well, I have more subs or I have more money or whatever. But then you instantly go to like, oh, I'm a victim because I didn't play. I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. Maybe I'm not delineating it quite well. What I'm trying to like.
I feel like examples will present themselves at some point where we can use a better analogy in the future.
Yeah, she's speculating. She doesn't know if would have been easier. You didn't take the road, so you have no proof or stance. I don't know. You can look at similar peers and see their success and be like, fuck, I was better than them. But I said the wrong thing. So I'm like barred from that path. I think that's valid within reason to speculate. Still all speculation. But I think there's enough evidence of like, look at this person got a Netflix special. They fucking suck. Who's actually a fan of this? But they said the right thing, so that's why. But they do this shit, you know, like I don't know if she went on Simpcast or not, but like I think Chrissy's trying to get Mint on FNT if I'm not mistaken, but because of like association with Vito and Clippa, they just like blacklist her.
It's possible. I know she streams with Zia sometimes, and I think she's been on Simcast a few times.
Yeah. I want to say she's been on Simcast. Chrissy likes her, but yeah, there's this whole like blacklists because Mint and Riley dare be detractors. So like it's kind of too, again, this is like where I'm like, this is not Chrissy or hosting this, but like the sphere is full of hypocrisy. And it's just baffling because like, well, why don't you respect? It'd be easy for Mint to just be a Ripa simp.
Well, it's funny because she's got like a Yaira cosplay.
She's like the only one yeah, she's gonna make a Yaira porn on her Fansly, so she's the one keeping the Yaira fervor going.
Yep, hydrated.
Well, I don't understand what's wrong with making money. I'm so sick.
Exactly, Lila.
I am sick of this. Making up pretending to be poor so that they get more sympathy. Like, what if I want to be successful? What if I want to drive a nice car and have a nice house? What is wrong with that? Why are we
damn straight?
Exactly, Lila.
They think that they're the arbiters.
Money, damn it.
It went into like woman mode where it's just funny to me because it makes me think of that Fox clip where it's that woman is like I don't know, she's trying to say something about women or gold digging or something, or like how it's but then like this guy's like, well, yeah, like you're a strong independent woman, why do you need your husband's alimony? And she's like,
how dare you, I have 3 children, I need that money.
While she's an anchor on a news network, she's got to be making serviceable money. Like, yet she's still stealing from the pocket of her ex-husband.
Yeah.
Hannah Gadsby. How many Netflix specials now? Wait, is that who's Hannah? Let me look this up. I don't want to say out of turn. Hannah. Oh my god, yeah. I was literally going to be like, are you talking about that like unfunny like lesbian? I want to sketch. I want to say it was Mint Salad, Autistic Boobs. That's if you aren't aware, maybe you recall the warehouse visit of Riley, where Ripa, the ANCAP, anarcho-capitalists against the state, called the cops, and our tax dollars, well, Texas tax dollars, had to pay for 5 cops to dust the fingerprints of $41 taped to his warehouse as a joke. Yeah, so it's like there's like a blacklist on Mint with a lot of these people. And well, then is she standing on her ideals if she's still on FNT if they're gatekeeping? Right. Yeah, no, you're fine, Rookie. Rookie has a. You're not muted, are you?
Yeah, I am at the moment. Yeah, the plumber just finished. I got to take a shit. I got to take a shower and do that before the next show.
Yeah, so. Rookie is going to be on his weekly show with Fanzine and
Midnight's Edge, Tom.
Midnight's Edge, After Dark guy, Tom Connors. Physical media show. What are you going to be talking about, Rookie?
Oh, yeah. Well, we watched How to Train Your Dragon this week, so I'll talk about that. And I also rechecked out the Mighty Ducks trilogy, which is actually, it still kind of holds up in a way. And the third one I thought was the worst when I was younger, but actually has a lot more quality to it than I remember. So, yeah, that should be fun to talk about. But yeah, we can still finish. I assume we can still finish up this video, though, because there's only like a minute left or so.
Put the link in the Pride channel, or put it in the chat.
I'm on my phone, so I can't like get out of the studio. So
I gotta look this
it's
up.
Okay.
Damn it. Let me look it up really quick. What is the channel? Fanzine.
Fanzine. So
fan.
FANZ. CENE vids.
Episode 125. Have you been doing 125 episodes, or is this like?
I've been on since like episode 108, I think.
Okay.
I've been on as a guest a few times before that, but been a host for.
Hey, what's up, TJ?
20 episodes.
We're about to end actually, because he's got to go poop.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Sketch. They really did. There's like a public record of the report. I gotta find. I might have it the screenshot saved of. Yeah, the report is like the victim or whatever the call. It says like Dwayne or July, comment Eric Dwayne and stuff. And I memed the words into like a word bubble of ISOM. It was a fun little time. I'm surprised. I want to say Vito and Dick covered it. But yeah, you can dig for that if I can't find it. Here we go.
Call me a grifter as long as I'm getting paid. I'm over this I gotta be this, I don't know.
I'm with you,
nothing wrong
Lila.
with making money. Let's make
totally
money in
understand.
2024. I'm tired of doing shit for free. I'm tired of going to venues and getting paid in pizza. Okay, I want to get.
I'd love to get paid in pizza.
Do you remember the gum commercial where it's like they like open a briefcase, it's full of money, and then like this like electrician and like his boom, it's like no one ever pays me in gum.
I think we paid our dues enough, and there's no need to. There's nothing wrong with making money, and let's stop.
That's exactly what I've been saying. It's capitalism. There's nothing wrong with making money. If you're gonna market yourself towards the anti-woke crowd, if you're gonna market yourself towards the woke crowd, whatever is your thing, go and market yourself and make the fucking money. Who cares?
Wait. All these people make content about. Oh, look, they go woke. And it's like maybe they did it because like they believe in it, and also the companies will back them and give them more gigs.
I feel like half the time it's not because they believe in it, though. It's because that's where they want to make the money, I guess. But I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's like, no, there's definitely, well, I'm just saying it's more nuanced, but like they will all make content like, oh, look, they go woke, and thus they are like black. They have like a, what would you call it? Now they have a bad aura. Oh, here's another one that's fallen prey to the wokeness. They've bent the knee.
Well, again, I guess woke is just isn't one of those overused terms as well. Like I just usually call the stuff bad. Like, you know, oh, it went bad. They made it really shit. Like Indiana Jones or something, or you know, stuff like that. It's like, yeah, they kind of made it shittier. I mean, woke, I guess, would be the like in terms, I guess, because there's the similarities with like making him an old fart who doesn't want to do anything and sucks now, and the girl is here and she kicks ass with no flaws and blah blah. I guess woke is what most people would call it, but I feel like that's one of the words again used so often it almost has no meaning either. That, you know, I'd rather just call it they've lost their quality. No, it's bad shit.
Yeah,
but anyway,
you see what I mean though? It's kind of two-faced because they make all this content about wokeness. This person turned, they bend the knee. And they just like typecast them, you know, when there's like, well, yeah. This is like, well, I want to stay in the business, so I'm saying what I need to, but also I believe in this. They never give them that benefit, but praise them for standing up, and they make their money by finding their anti-woke crowd. You see what I mean? This feels kind of
well. I guess it's because of the origin of the material, though, like with Star Wars and all in Lord of the Rings, even, and then to Rings of Power, like going woke from starting from a non-woke standpoint, and then making that what the continuation is. So
Tolkien was woke.
Well, Tolkien, kind of, I guess.
No, I'm being facetious. Totally not. No. He would probably hate Republicans today. He'd probably hate conservatives of today and call them woke.
Probably.
He'd be like a Puritan extremist today. With the people that are like, oh, the respect the lore, you know, he would probably hate all these people. that are like crazy.
His son didn't like the Lord of the Rings movies. He thought they were that they gutted the books to make big action movies, and it's like, dude, really? Wow, that's a very weird take, but all right.
Amoral Fat 40 Ounce. What an interesting name.
I like the name.
I like your, what is that? Well, that's not Rambo, but that's a Stallone character. I'm not aware of that film. I've seen that. I don't know what movie it is though.
It's like a Stallone Terminator or something.
The woman is Indy 5, had a lot of faults, dude.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that she was good. I'm saying that was my point. But everybody calls everything woke. That was, that's kind of the point of contention.
Catwoman in the Batman, because she says white privilege. So this is a woke movie. It's like they have. I think they're disingenuously, purposely avoiding the full scope of like. It totally makes sense that someone in the world would say what we take as just like woke platitudes today. It's like, again, there's a woman that like hit another guy's car, and then she gets out of the car and tries to blame him for it. And then she says, "You're white privilege. You have white privilege." I'm calling the cops. It's like, yeah, I do. You hit me. Like, people really say this like loony shit in the wild. It's not just, the corporate whatever has permeated real life is what I'm getting at. And so it's not crazy that Catwoman might think this given her background that we understand in the film, but then they just typecast it as this is propaganda. And it's like, maybe, but like they'll never give an honest, nuanced take about like, I don't like this given the world we're in, but like also, yeah, this could make sense actually. So it may grind your gears, may stand out, but it might actually have logic for this film. They won't, they never like this whole thing is like asking for the benefit of nuance or something. Like you shouldn't cancel people for whatever, chase the money, whichever way you are. But then when people do arguably and believe it, well, they're just a sellout. This is what's grinding my gears about this whole spiel. Yeah. Oh, they actually does some friends. But yeah, that's all we got. Thanks for joining. I had a good 10 people. I appreciate it. Appreciate the watch time. Trying to get monetized. Trying to do it honestly. So thanks, Rookie Critic, for inspiring this stream. He didn't have the idea to stream, but I'm like, hey, why not? Because I haven't watched it all. So and gives a nice 2 hours together on the internet. Appreciate y'all hanging out and catch us tomorrow. Rookie, you can just dip out. I'm just gonna sell.
Okay, sweet. Yep. Have a good one, guys. Cool.
Remove this. Let me present. I'm gonna find it really quick. Couple comics I want you to check out. One will be hosting the possibly creatives of it's called Godfoe. Let me see where it's at. Godfoe comic. Godfoe universe. All right, so it's on Indiegogo. We're gonna have these people on tomorrow with me and Rookie. It's called shit, let me get rid of this tab and I'll present this to y'all. It looks pretty cool. If you like manga, it's got this really dark, cool art style. It really stuck out to me. Let me present it. Here we go. It's called Apollyon 20XX Live Not by Lies. It's already fulfilled its flexible goal. I've seen like a timeline image. It might be in this campaign, but they put on Twitter it's like timeline where they got a bunch of projects for this. They got like a real plan laid out for this world. Nope, it's not on here, but I'm gonna have them on tomorrow. Supposed to have them on yesterday, but my weather kept knocking my power out, so I didn't want to leave them in my channel chat by themselves. It's not fair. Yeah, it's got a yeah, it's got pretty sick. So yeah, gonna have them on tomorrow. The Godfo Universe guys. Let's see, the powerful global elites have created their own god. Only a group of young augments can stop them. That's the quick pitch. Story is a powerful group of elites known as the Order have manipulated world events for centuries from the shadows. Now, in the near future, this order has created GOD, a machine capable of influencing the minds of the world's population. But Zero, the prime candidate for the GOD project, has escaped and rallied with him a small band of young, like-minded augments. Together, they seek to end the order before GOD can be completed and the world brought to its knees. So that's fun. Premise has got 175 glorious black and white pages, finished and ready to go with $5 flat shipping. So yeah, it's Apollyon. I'm cautious saying it because I'm like, is that right? I haven't heard it said. Is my caution, but they have a full digital for 12. If 25 is too much for you, but we're gonna have them on tomorrow, so I want to show that, get you a little hyped. Let's say the chat. Great stream. Have a good night. Thank you, Karen. It's the Tomb Raider reboot movie with Sylvester Stallone. Cobra head swapped out on her. Oh, weird. I feel like it looks like a Stallone poster. What's the movie? It's a joke no one gets. I hate when that happens. But yeah, we got the Godfo guys. Let me stop sharing that. There's one more I want to show y'all. I have no affiliation with this guy. I just happened to peruse Fund My Comic and find this, and it just looks so awesome. I can't stop shilling for it. It's by Luca Brico. I'm not sure if he is foreign or not. I've heard his voice on promo for this. The interesting thing about this, though, guys, while I'm like, go back to this, I haven't read it yet, but I'm gonna back. I have backed it just because of the art. The art, both the covers like this main one, and some of these like interior. Well, that's a cover. Some of these interiors. I'm trying to scroll down to it. Oh wait, you can't see it. Damn it. Let me share the screen. There we go. All right. So first, this is the last campaign that we were looking at for Apollyon 20XX. Could be on here tomorrow. This campaign on Fund My Comic is I'll share the link for y'all as well. This is one I really want y'all to back with, again, no knowledge of this guy. I never talked to him. I just love this art so much. This is a Varian. Cool thing I was going to get at is that he's got the Varian website. You can read the first 2 chapters online for free. If you're hesitant, if you don't know if you want to back it, he's that confident you can read this stuff for free. This campaign is for the full volume 1, including the new chapter 3. He's got a $10 volume 1 digital. It has all 3 chapters. Or if you just want chapter 3, $7. And for the physical book, $25 plus the shipping. I'm not sure if I've been charged the shipping already or not, but it's a very thorough campaign page as well, because it's got like all these covers. He tells you about, this is rated T for teen story. He does have nudie variant covers for adult collectors if they wish. And he gives you all this stuff about like the inspiration. Yeah, look at this, like this lichen, this wolf girl. Isn't that hot? He's got hot barbarian chick. Might make you think Red Sun. He's got this awesome cryptid girl as well. Looks like he's got a satyr, a green satyr. So yeah, I'm just really sold on this. Can't wait to get it. I can't wait to maybe this weekend read the first 2 chapters. Maybe give you a quick review. But yeah, it seems great. He's going to be handling the shipping through Critical Blast. He's printing through Mixum, and also using Sticker Mule for the stickers. So gives you all this stuff, gives you the inspiration, the related kind of franchise work that is inspirational or tangentially related to his style. So please go back a Varian. He's only asking $500, and he just needs $45 to get there. So we got 10 days to go. I'm not sure how it'll work on Fun My Comic if he doesn't hit the funding, but please get this funding. I really want this book. Yeah, it does look great, doesn't it? Amoral Fat 40 ounce. I love some of the creative names YouTube commenters make, and that really sticks out. But that's it. Join me again tomorrow, 9:15 probably Eastern. Me and Rookie and the Apollyon 20XX guys wrote that. Pick their brain. Talk about whatever stuff comes to mind. What we're seeing on Twitter. Possibly Rippaverse stuff. Although I don't know where they're at with Comic Skater Rippaverse, so don't want to bring that up if that's something they're concerned with affecting them specifically. So play it by ear with them. Not going to force it. Again, I appreciate you all coming here, hanging out with me and Rookie. Perhaps putting up with that stream clip that we were analyzing. Yeah, thank you so much. Talk to you tomorrow.